Yo, hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Tuesday and we have some important things to cover, so let's get right into the charts for Bitcoin. Right now, as you can see, we are having a correction after once again rejecting from that value area high zone from this current range that we have been consolidating about 2-3 weeks right now, I think. And currently Bitcoin lost that weekly pivot, so we are currently trading below it, and right now, as you can see, we are finding support right here at that value area low support zone for Bitcoin, where we have previously bounced and got a fake out twice right here, as you can see. But this time it might be different, as you know, since we are approaching a new month, and potentially after a new monthly candle opens in about 2 days and 8 hours, we can potentially see some kind of a bigger retracement like we have seen before. Whenever a monthly candle opens, we tend to actually always go a bit down to maybe half the monthly candle body, as you can see, exactly like we got right here in June. We got a retest down to 98k, basically half of this monthly body candle for Bitcoin. So right now, if the new month opens right here and price goes down to the half of that monthly body candle, this will take us down to 111 to 110k, which would also be a pretty textbook, since we do have a lot of liquidity sitting down there. Let me just change the data liquidation map onto the 2-week one. And so right now, if it loads, we can see right here we have 114 to 112 all the way down to 110k. We do have liquidity sitting on the downside. We do also have liquidity on the top side, but as of right now, Bitcoin is currently creating on the daily some kind of a lower high pattern. As you can see, if we draw a trend line from the all-time that we made, you can see we have been trending kind of downwards. So this is also potentially creating that another bull flag like we created, basically exactly like right here. So Bitcoin was trending downwards and then we broke out, so it is very possible that we are creating the same bull flag pattern that we got last time, and then we can see a breakout potentially, I would say, to up to 127k, or maybe a little bit lower to 125,000, a bit above the all-time high. But it is also possible that we push also a bit higher. It all depends how this pattern right here plays out. But if we look right now at some of the altcoins, Ethereum is also right now having a correction once again, since Bitcoin is also having a correction. But this, in my opinion, is because the stock market is right now also having that correction. Yesterday we did have a correction of around 0.5%, then we pumped back up after bouncing from that weekly pivot, but right now we are dumping again. So as you can see, whenever the stock market dumps, Bitcoin tends to do the same thing. Solana also dumping right now, getting below that value area high, which would be pretty bad in my opinion if we fall down below this range once again for Solana. In my opinion, Solana needs to hold this range, or maybe if it doesn't, it will go all the way down and retest that POC that's sitting at 144, and then finally we can have that run for Solana that everybody has been waiting for. But as of right now, if we go back on Ethereum, you can see Ethereum today rejected from this 4-year resistance trend line that we drew in the last video. You can see when we drew it last time, this wasn't even hit, but right now Ethereum actually hit that line and is currently having that correction to the downside. It is possible, as I said, that if the monthly candles closes right here and the new one opens, the same goes for Ethereum, we might see a retracement down to half that body candle, which will take us to 3100 for Ethereum, which would be about 16% move, which is actually small considered the massive pump that we had from that value area low. We have had 85% of a pump, so 16% of a dump would be nothing in my opinion, but we'll see how things play out. Right now it is important that Bitcoin keeps that range and Ethereum does not lose that weekly pivot, otherwise we might see 3500 or maybe this time even lower. As I said, 3100 it is possible, since the monthly candles will open in about 2 days and 8 hours, so August might start bearish, but then as the month goes on we might continue to push higher. This is my opinion right now. Also, if we look at the Bitcoin ETF inflow, yesterday we got another 157 million of inflows into the Bitcoin spot ETF, which is also still very bullish. We are having 3 days in a row after having 3 red days for the ETF, basically sell-offs. And if we look at the Ethereum ETF, I think it was also green, yeah, exactly, but right now they are buying only 65. The last time they were buying crazy amounts, like 450 million, 500 million, 600, 726 million in a single day, and right now they are buying just 65 million, which is a bit less, since they might know that potentially it could possibly top out right here, so this means they are buying a little bit less. But in my opinion, if the price goes down potentially and retests that $3,100 region, they will continue to buy high amounts of Ethereum. But as of right now, still looks pretty good. We are still pretty high in the price range, so basically this correction right now is still nothing and does not scare me. We might reverse very fast, like we reversed the last 2 times, so it is possible that we do something like this and then push well above 4,000 for it. The same goes for Bitcoin. If it manages to hold this level right here, then I am expecting that push higher once again, and if the value area high gets tested once again, since it got tested many times, it might finally break out. But the same goes for the value area low of the range, since it also got tested many times and even one time we got a fake out to the downside. It is also possible that Bitcoin breaks down of this range and goes all the way down to 110k to retest that previous range right here where we broke out of before, and we've had this pump of about 12% for Bitcoin. So these are the 2 scenarios that I'm looking for right now. Let's look at the longs versus shorts ratio. Yeah, exactly, we do have more sellers right now in the market, so shorts are pushing the price down. And also we can see that on the CVD right here, you can see CVD is going down, open interest going down. So basically this suggests that there are sellers into the market right now and they are pushing the price down. On the daily, you can see the EMA ribbons, they are still pointing up, so this does not scare me. But on the 4 hour, you can see they are starting to slope down a little bit. The same goes for the 2 hourly and the 1 hourly time frame. So it is possible that we get that correction down to 110k that I was talking about for Bitcoin. And in my opinion, if we do get that correction, potentially the altcoins are also going to sell off and have a bigger correction. You can see SUI, after rejecting from that first weekly pivot resistance, right now has had a correction of around 14%, and potentially we may go lower on the daily. The same goes for Solana right here. If it goes back into that range, then potentially we can even test the low POC right here, 144, as I said. So anything is possible. Everything depends on the stock market and also on Bitcoin to lead the market, as you know. But if the S&P 500 starts kind of reversing right here and gets like the correction that we have got here around 3 or 4 5% basically, or maybe it goes back down to test that previous all-time high right here, then we might potentially during this S&P correction, the Bitcoin and the altcoins might go much lower in my opinion, but it depends. This might be the wholesale off and bounce from the weekly pivot for the stock market, and then also Bitcoin and the altcoins continues higher after scaring everybody else. And so that would be my outlook for the market, guys. Remember to leave a like, subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.